Hey guys, it's Karina. So this is gonna be a very different video that I've never really done before. I've been really wanting to just come out and just tell the truth about a lot of stuff and just talk about my experiences that I've went through with life that I feel like y'all should really know. If y'all want to watch this video and y'all want to hear about my modeling experiences and stuff like that, just keep watching. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how modeling and honestly just Instagram in general just went downhill for me. I just really want to shed light on my Instagram experiences, my modeling experiences, my acting experiences and stuff like that. Basically, probably it was my senior year, I believe, junior or senior year. I was just posting on Instagram. I was super dedicated to becoming Instagram famous from 8th grade. I literally think since 8th grade I was like, yep, I'm gonna be Instagram famous. And I worked towards that for so many years, and that's what brought me to, becoming who I am or who I was. I literally worked my ass off for those followers that I had. I worked my butt off to take the pictures that I took. I literally worked so hard for what I had at that time, and it was absolutely crazy. I worked so hard that I actually worked up to 200,000 followers, which was crazy. I actually got that from, I think I had my Instagram from my sophomore year to my senior year in high school, which was when I had gotten to that amount of followers. And it was absolutely amazing, and I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity to be able to even be that person and be such a big influence on you guys. It was crazy, and it was amazing to be able to experience something like that, and I don't regret it whatsoever. But in that time, I was so dedicated to being famous that I didn't care how I got there. I didn't care if I was being myself. I didn't care what people really thought of me. I just thought okay, I'm gonna be famous, and that's just what it is. I was super dedicated to becoming famous, and I just became somebody that I wasn't. And yeah, that's what I felt like I had to do, and it felt like the easiest way to do things, because in my normal life people didn't like who I was. So I didn't want to be who I was, because I was always getting bullied in school. People didn't like me. I was super socially awkward. I was just the nerdy kid that runs to lunch. Yeah, that was me. So on Instagram, I literally had a whole different persona. In school, I was this nerd that, I did my work. I was always at school. I was on time. That's just who I was. And then once I started letting Instagram kind of change who I am, I stopped going to school. I actually dropped out a few different times. I started feeling like I didn't even need to be there, so I started trying to get myself expelled from school so that my mom wouldn't make me go, and I could just focus on my career every day instead of going to school, because I felt like school was just not in my favor for what I wanted to do. So I was just well, if I, eliminate this problem of going to school, then I can just focus on my career. That's the mindset that I had, my sophomore to my senior year. So that's absolutely crazy. Don't be like me. I was gaining followers like crazy. People loved who I was. I was literally just an Instagram baddie. But at that time, an Instagram baddie wasn't a thing. It was me and a few other people that had literally made Instagram baddiness a thing. It's so funny now, because that's just not me. I'm not like that. That's not who I am. I'm super nerdy, so it's just it's funny that I even portrayed myself to be that, because that's not what I am whatsoever. But when I graduated high school, I actually I graduated high school it was crazy how I even did it. I actually ended up graduating early because my dad was on my ass about it. He was like, no, you need to fucking finish, da 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 da. So he ended up getting me in some online classes. So I was actually in school. I had to switch schools because I felt like I was always getting bullied and stuff. So I ended up switching schools, and I was doing school in school, and then I was also doing it online when I came home. So I ended up graduating and all that, and once I graduated, I had made the promise to myself that I was going to push myself super hard to get into modeling and all that, just because on Instagram, that's what I was doing. I was an Instagram model, Instagram baddie. So that was just my dream. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out to Florida and I'm going to pursue my dreams of being a model. I ended up moving out to Florida, and as soon as I got there, I got an apartment. I was living with my mom. Me and my mom had lived there together, but my mom was often not there just because she is a traveler. She travels like just because she wants to. So she often honestly wasn't really there. So I kind of had the apartment to myself, and I just went out there just to work. I ended up getting accepted into an agency that was super cool. I worked with them. I actually still work with them a little bit, but it's not really the way that I used to, obviously. Once I got in with this agency, I'm not going to name the agency because I don't really, they're not very good. But once I got into this agency, I started doing more acting classes, and I had a bunch of modeling gigs that I was getting into. I was doing a lot of interviews. I was going to a lot of basically just open calls and stuff like that. I ended up getting a few modeling gigs, and modeling for me, it was super cool, I guess. It was a different experience. But with modeling, they want you to be somebody that you're not. I guess it's depending on who you work with, but for me personally, they really wanted me to be this really skinny girl, this like tall, because I'm very tall. I'm actually 5'7", 5'8". So they wanted me to be this tall, slender girl, and like that was never me at that time. I was super into food. I was super into being like, the thick goddess. So I wanted to be slim thick, and that's just like what I wanted personally for myself at that specific time, and that's not who they wanted me to be. So in modeling, they would always tell me I needed to lose weight. They would tell me the diets that I needed to be on. There was often times when they would tell me like, hey, like you shouldn't eat that because it's going to make you bigger for your measurements. So they wanted me to be, I can't remember the exact measurements that they wanted me to be, but they would actually put fake measurements in for me whenever they would do like my comp cards or anything. If you guys don't know what a comp card is, it's basically your modeling card. It just has like your height, your weight, and your measurements on it. They would put fake measurements in for me, and then they would tell me to go on this diet. So it was very hard on me, and it was very hard on my body. It was very hard on who I am as a person. I'm a Taurus Gemini cusp, but I am very into food. I love food. So for me, it was like taking away my happiness. It was like just draining me as a person, and it wasn't who I am. It wasn't who I was at all. But it's what I felt like I needed to do to get to the top. So I was literally starving myself. I was eating foods that I didn't want to eat. I was literally just a puppet for these people. I ended up starting to go into acting as well, and I have very bad memory just because of things that have happened to me in the past. I've always been that type of person to where I forget things super easily, just because like that's just how I am. So acting was very hard for me because obviously I can't remember things super easily, so I would often get in trouble for not remembering my lines. They would like try to get me drunk on set so that I would feel more comfortable to being open to just improvising and stuff like that. And at the time I was not 21, so them giving me alcohol was just not good at all. So I went through a lot with trying to fit into this image that I just wasn't. I ended up getting more into smoking and weed and, just things that I shouldn't be getting into just because this is what everybody else in Florida was doing. So I felt obligated to do this myself. And this brought me to the point where I just didn't really care. I kind of just felt like my body was who I was. I didn't feel like I had a personality anymore. I didn't feel like I had anything besides my body and my weight, and that's all that I could really control. And I think that this is what really forced me into having an eating disorder and not being able to gain the weight that I really wanted to. At the time, I didn't really realize that this was something that was affecting me so much, because I was just so focused on my goals. I was so focused on, this person that I thought that I was, just, trying to be. Like, I didn't realize that this isn't who I was. Yeah, I ended up just getting really into things that just weren't good for me. And I think that that's when I really just came crashing down. I couldn't do it anymore. It was a lot. I felt like I was always getting criticized for who I am. I could never be myself. There were things that I would post on Instagram and my agency would tell me, hey, take it down. Or, the people that, like, I was in a show, like I was filming for a show. It felt like they just didn't want me to be myself. I couldn't post the things that I wanted to. I ended up getting into a fitness Instagram thing. Like, they have like this Instagram and they also have a YouTube. They wanted me to like be like a model for them, but I couldn't post the things that I wanted to post on Instagram. They were saying I could only post fitness things. And this phase was just really, really hard for me because I've always used my platform to talk shit and to talk about the things that I want to talk about, no matter who cares about it, no matter who cares about anything. I've always, stayed true to speaking my mind about things on my social media, and that was something that they completely took away from me. I couldn't do that. I couldn't speak on what I wanted to speak on. It was really hard for me because it's just, I slowly felt myself dissolving in all of this. I felt myself not being who I really am. And I think that that's really where my breaking point came from. I ended up getting in with the wrong people. I started, just having, I'm going to be really real about it. I just started, having sex with people because I felt like that was the love that I could get from others, because I didn't have like the love and support anymore from, people on Instagram. I could tell that people knew that something was wrong, and people knew that, I wasn't the person that I used to be. And it really hurt because I didn't know how to change myself back. I didn't know how to do anything. And it just felt like I was losing so much support. And I felt like the only support that I really had or that I could have was from a man that didn't even love me. I, ended up just doing what I had to do to, get at least some type of love from somebody that didn't deserve me at all. And it really sucked because I know that it really did affect who I am, and it affected who I am today as a person. I it's so crazy because before I even started Instagram, I was super like stingy with myself. I was super stubborn and super like just unfair with the person that I was. Like, I wouldn't let anybody have me or let anybody have like my brain or anybody like or anything like that. Like, I was just super different, and I think that Instagram and modeling and acting brought a lot out of me that just, it wasn't me. And it sucks like so bad because I know it affects who I am now. And yeah, I don't want anybody to make the same mistakes that I made, dropping out of school and moving to a different state without, real family and real friends, and just like going off and being too independent. In all honesty, I really did mess up my life by pursuing this dream of being a model that I just wasn't and I will never be. I really, really, really did mess up, like bad. And I didn't even realize it. I didn't understand why things were going bad for me. I didn't understand why life was just kicking me in the butt every single time I tried to do something good for myself. I realize now that, these things were just not for me. And it really does suck that, I made these decisions to try to be somebody that I wasn't, but it's never too late to change. And I just want to like let a lot of y'all know that if you're going through the same thing, or if you did go through the same thing, it's never too late to change. And you just should always be true to who you are as a person, and always be true to yourself, because number one, these men do not love you. These boys do not love you. Focus on yourself. Don't give yourself to somebody because you feel like it might make somebody love you, because it's not true. They will not. They probably don't care about you. and that's the truth. I'm going to be completely real about it. I know that that's not something that a lot of people want to hear. You want to think that, you know, these people, this guy or this man or this woman does love you. This person really cares about you. But in all honesty, they probably care more about themselves. And at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're good before you make sure that anyone else is good. Period. Don't be somebody that you're not, because it will always bite you in the ass. It will always bite you in the butt, and you will always come back to the person that you've been this entire time. Don't do something that you think is just going to get you clout instead of being yourself, because look at me. I'm exactly back to the point that I was right before I started, you know, being Instagram famous. I'm exactly me, and I'll always be me. I will never be anybody else. I'll never be this Instagram baddie. I will never have a huge butt. I will never be slim, thick, naturally. I'm naturally quite, you know, slim, and I'm pretty straight. And I'm perfectly fine with that, because that's me, and this is who I am. So I don't know, this video is just for anybody out there that thinks that they need to change to be anybody, or to get followers, or to be cool to anybody. Don't drop out of school. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You will probably be famous, but you do need that education, girl, boy, anybody. Y'all need that. Okay? Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. But also make sure your priorities are straight, because if you're putting all of your effort into your dreams instead of putting your effort into your life and who you really are as a person, it can really mess you up. And I am a product of that. I have completely went insane and all the way back to normal to be who I am today. And just don't give up. You know, have your faith in God, have your faith in who you are as a person. Just don't, like, I'm about to cry. Just don't give up, y'all, because it's not worth it. Don't let anybody tell you who you need to be, because in the end, you'll feel alone, and you'll feel like nobody cares about you. You'll feel like you've lost everybody that you thought cared about you, but in reality, those people were just never supposed to be in your life. And those people were just never good for you in the first place. So just be you. And don't give up, please. Because it's not worth it. You're meant to be here. You're meant to be who you are. And you can't take someone else's spot. You can't take someone else's destiny. You have to fulfill your own. So just do you. Do you, girl. Be exactly who you are, and don't let anybody tell you different, because you are worth it. You don't need to have anybody else's approval to be famous or to be different, to do anything. You're you. So fulfill who you are. Make yourself happy before you make anybody else happy. Be selfish sometimes. Period. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more videos, just comment below and let me know. I really wanted to put this video out so that nobody makes the same mistakes that I've made, because it's not worth it. You deserve to be happy, and you deserve to be yourself, because that's what you were put here to do. So don't give up. And I love y'all so much. Subscribe and comment what videos y'all want. And yeah, I hope you guys have a amazing day, life. Yeah, bye.